Hello, weekend crafter. Welcome back to the Craft Time Studio. If you're new here, hello. I'm Ange and I love to craft on the weekends. If this is something that you love to do, I hope that you consider liking and subscribing to the Craft Time Studio for your weekend dose of crafts. For this weekend, I'm mixing up some new colors for fall. Let's make red orange, tender peach, iced latte, waterspout green, and shady glade. The inspiration for these fall colors actually came from my daughter's dress. Before we begin, it's always important to clean our workspace. I have a glass mat and so I clean it by spritzing it with some alcohol and wiping it down. Now it's time to bring out the color references. I always make a color reference first to make it easier for me to practice making the colors. For the first color, let's mix red-orange. I used two different shades of orange. I used Fimo Soft in cognac and Sculpey Primo in orange. I also brought out some Sculpey in cadmium red. For proportions, I started with 1 part of the cognac, a third of the Sculpey Primo in orange, and 2/3 of Sculpey Primo in cadmium red. My Fimo Soft in cognac is ironic because it is actually very hard and crumbly clay. This gets pounded with my hammer until the pieces stick together. I actually have a whole video on my favorite ways to condition hard and crumbly clay, and I'll share with you a link above so that you can experiment with what works best for you. Next, I add the red clay. Once the two colors are fully combined, I add the Sculpey in orange. After combining the colors, it's still looking too red for me, and so I add another third of orange. Finally, I come back in with another part of cognac. Remember that red is a strong color to work with, so it's best to add a small amount of it first. Also, for those who are curious about me using different brands, I actually have not encountered any problems with mixing different brands of clay. For the next color, I'm going with tender peach. I start with 1 part Sculpey Primo in white, 2/3 part Sculpey Ballerina pink, and a third of Fimo flesh. First, let's roll out white and mix it with the ballerina pink. Once the two colors are combined, I add the Fimo flesh. Again, my Fimo flesh is a bit hard and crumbly and it needed a little bit of hammering. And of course, to tie the colors together, I placed a sliver of red orange to the mix. If you're a long-time subscriber, you will note that I always try to incorporate some of the colors together because it does make them all come together. That sliver of orange transforms the color into something peachy pink. For the third color, let's mix iced latte. Again, we will be using two different shades of the same color. I'm using a redder type of brown like Primo in burnt umber and a grayer shade of brown like Sculpey in suede brown. You'll also be needing Sculpey Primo in white. For proportions, let's start with 1 part of white, a fourth of the suede brown, and 2/4 of burnt umber. I first mix the suede brown with white until the colors are fully mixed. And then I added the burnt umber. It's still looking a little bit lighter than my sample, and so I add another fourth of the suede brown. Finally, to get everything integrated, I again added a sliver of red orange. For the fourth color, I'm going with the darker of the greens first, which I'm calling Shady Glade, owing to the fact that it's on the gray side of green. Let's mix 1 part of Sculpey Primo in white with 3/4 Primo green and 1/4 Sculpey in turquoise. After mixing, the color is a bit a brighter green than what I want, and so I add another fourth of the Sculpey in turquoise. Finally, to get that gray shade, let's mix a sliver of the iced latte that we mixed. And now we're down to the last color, which is Waterspout green. As this is a very light color, let's go with a fourth of Shady Glade and 1 part white. After the colors are fully combined, I come in with a fourth of the Shady Glade again. This is how the colors look when combined together. I used small format flowers to make this slab. I also used the iced latte as my main slab on this other one. And it still works great. I hope that these colors inspire you to make something of your own. Have a crafty weekend. Bye!